in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Good to have everybody. Grab my book. Probably saying, why are we in talk about the love languages, Dion? That has to do with romantic relationships. And I said, no, it does not. Not always. Doesn't need to be. Right? I mean, when we can love somebody appropriately in the right way. What about your best friend? What about your mom? What about your dad, your brothers, your sisters, all the people in your life, right? That maybe deserve a little bit of love. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. 0 views. Okay, it's 69 actually. Okay. Been making these clips. I'm getting a lot of views. I get a lot more views on those clips. Nobody's saying anything though. It's hard to figure out it's hard to figure out which part of a 45-minute talk that I did that I should turn into a clip. And yeah. Hi, Amber. Good to see you. Or good to have you. Welcome. Yes, I am. I was too live. Maybe it wasn't showing up yet. The internet seems to be really lagging today. At least it was over at the Community Reach Center. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay now, unlike where I was at. Oh, me and my silly perfectionism. But if people can't hear, then we got a problem. So, people want instant gratification out of their videos. I absolutely agree. All right. Can't give you a whole answer in a minute, though. Yeah. Oh, you were fucking with me. Okay. All right. Fucking with me, that I can go for. I was fine sound-wise. Oh my God, stop it. Hey, all right. Was the sound okay for the meeting for you, Michelle? Now I'm just pushing my luck, so. Oh. Okay. Then I have nothing to worry about with it, right? All right. I'm gonna believe you. I'll believe the deaf person. If the deaf person heard me okay, then yeah, it was probably just fine. All right. So give me a breakdown of the 5 love languages. Oh, it gave me an AI overview. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Let's get started. Welcome to Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. I'm your host. All right. Amber says people get on my other podcast, Guys Live, and troll him about his sound when he sounds fine. So I'm over it. Oh, that's why. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let it go. I believe you. If you're here, please say hello. while they're watching the live. Stick a pod in your ear and call it a day. If you're here, please say hello whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Oh, it's crazy, Virgos. So the count on my podcast has kind of plummeted lately. I was wondering that when that was going to happen. That tends to go. It goes up, goes way up, and then it plummets, and then up, and yeah, does weird stuff, man. I don't think I've had any new subscribers on my YouTube for a while. I have 276, and I doubt there's probably 10 of them that actually listen. Anyway, and if you subscribe, then you should get a notification. So people just not care about their notifications. I'm weird about mine, right? See, there are no notifications at the top of my phone. None. All right. The 5 love languages. Written by Gary Chapman. And it was the #1 New York Times bestseller. Why do we in recovery need to understand the love languages? Now we're learning how to love again, right? Instead of thinking we know how people want to be loved, right? And you can do this in everyday life. I've found that certain personality types tend to go with particular things. I have a couple of different love languages myself. You can have more than one. Okay. But understanding that, understanding your child's love language, understanding your significant others, your brothers and your sisters. I know this is kind of a repeat, but if people weren't quite here yet. If you, the more you know in this situation, probably the better. So let's cover. It's 3:33, by the way. 5 languages, a concept by Gary Chapman, outlines 5 primary ways individuals express and receive love. Michelle says my son's all about that, so maybe I should learn this. Yeah. Is it, he goes into descriptions and stuff. Not a bad book. Okay. But remember that this is also a self-help book. And for people that are in recovery, the whole book ain't gonna work until you know how to help yourself. And alcoholics don't know how to do that for a minute. So keep that in mind. Self-help books are for people that know how to help themselves. So once you learn that, then self-help books, they're great. Absolutely. But there's a reason why they're called self-help. All right. But if we have a basic understanding that with this, you can start working on it right away. And you can even ask, hey, would you prefer that we spent time together or do you want a gift? Things like that. Okay. So, understanding these languages can help individuals better communicate their needs and appreciate their partner's preference, leading to a stronger relationship. Now, keep in mind, they're probably going to be, this is probably going to be more partner focused, but you know me, I will turn it into what we need here. All right. The first one is words of affirmation. This language focuses on verbal expressions of love and appreciation, such as compliments, encouragement, and declarations of affection. People with this love language feel most loved when they hear the words that make them feel valued and special, right? I would actually call that low self-esteem, but what the fuck do I know? It kind of is. Right. Right. But if your partner looks good, they like to be told. If like a lot of the girls that I dated, okay, I know it doesn't sound like words of affirmation, But, let's say we're getting ready. How does this look on me? If it didn't look right, I said something. Because clearly they wanted to look good. I would tell them, yeah, that doesn't, and I got this knack for, I've been picking my own clothes since I was like 2, because I've just always been very color coordinated and stuff. But I was just honest because, I'm like, well, you want to look at, and they always appreciated the fact that I did. Yeah. Now, do not ask a guy this, do I look fat in this? That is not a fair question. Not a fair question. So, but, when they hear words like, I love you. Hey, I appreciate that you do this, that you do that. Now, this cannot be overdone. We got to remember there's balance in these things. Hi, Patricia. It's good to see you. Words of affirmation, that I'm going to kind of take a particular situation. Let's say I take out the trash and nobody notices. Do you need words of affirmation? Do what's expected of you. That's when it goes a little too far. All right. But good job. Like, I'm still waiting to hear from the man that raised me. I'm proud of you. Ain't gonna get it. He doesn't do words of affirmation. He doesn't know how. Right. But I appreciate the occasional compliment. Sure, I do. All right. For a while there, it was hard for me to take a compliment. I didn't know how because I just didn't get complimented a lot when I was drinking. But I figured out what to say. It's pretty easy. Thank you. And then shut up. Not thank you, yeah, but. Because when you say but, you cancel out everything that you said before it. Everybody hear me okay? I'm just kidding, Amber. I'm just kidding. Oh, you should see how funny I think I am when I'm drinking. All right. The second one is quality time. This would be my wife's love language. Quality time. All right. This language emphasizes undivided attention and meaningful connection, often through shared activities, conversation, and moments of togetherness. Individuals with this love language value being present with their partner, engaging in deep interactions. Yeah. I love a good conversation. I really do. I love good conversations. I thrive on them. I love them. Unless it's just about the weather. I don't do, weather conversations. Just general conversation. I'm not the best at it. I try and be a part of it if I know it. But if they're talking about something I don't know, then I kind of stay out of it, right? Shared activities. There are certain shows I watch only with my wife. I set it aside for her. There are certain things like, taking time, putting, literally putting time aside. All right. And that's her love language. Okay. There's been some things going on, right? And her time's being consumed by some people in her life. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. All right. They're looking for a home. They're looking for a residence for, Shannon's looking for a residence for her dad. He needs to go into assisted living. All right. A couple Fridays ago, they call and they have to do this interview. Well, that's date night. And I told my wife the next day, I'm like, hey, that's our date night, and you are not to be taking phone calls. If we ride in the car together, stay off your phone. No, it's one of the rules in the car. No, we're supposed to be having conversation. We're supposed to be talking. We're supposed to be catching up, seeing how we're all doing, things like that. No cars, no phones in the car. No. If you're the passenger, your job is to make sure that whatever music is on is the music that I enjoy. I'm laughing, but it's true. So spending quality time together, right? Receiving gifts. Okay. No, that doesn't mean getting a nice purse, a nice pair of shoes from somebody, things like that. These are meaningful gifts. This is one of mine, but it is only in the sense of this. It has to be, you write me a handwritten letter, I will keep it forever. See, this was made for me. Somebody Amber went out of her way to make this for me. Okay. I will hold on to it forever. Right. The chips that are given to me, my AA chips, I tend to pay those forward. This, Clara Joyce made me this for my 9th birthday. All right. Yeah. Things like that. Those are the gifts that we're talking about. This language revolves around the thoughtful and meaningful gifts that symbolize affection and care. Yeah, if you took time out of your day to do something for me, it isn't really receiving the gift as much as you took time and thought about me. That's more what it is than the actual gift. Yeah. No. Gifts are more than just material objects. They represents the giver's thoughtfulness and receiver's feeling of being valued. That's it. When somebody takes time and puts it aside for me to do something for me, I feel more valued. Something that I didn't get a lot in this life. In fact, I'm kind of going through that. That makes sense. Okay. Doesn't matter. Acts of service. That's probably closer to, you know, but our acts of service, what we think, and we all do kind of acts of service, right? All right. Welcome back, Amber. Shell says it's the thought that counts. Acts of service. So this language values practical help and support, like doing chores, running errands, or helping with tasks that relieve the partner's burdens. This is one that I'm good at. When the week, and see, my wife works her butt off during the week. So when it comes to the weekend, I don't really put much more on her. I try and take care of it. I take care of most of the housework around here. I tried to take over the grocery shopping, but she didn't appreciate that. So I gave it up. She's been doing it her way for years. She doesn't want me. Yeah. And I was just trying to relieve her of some burden, right? Individuals with this love language feel most loved when their partner takes action to ease their load, make their day a little bit better, go out of their way. Maybe, you know, these are the type of people where if you brought them lunch, they would really appreciate it. If they come home and the house is clean, they're going to love that. Maybe it was their turn for the dishes, but you know that they had a really hard day, so you went and did them. They're going to love that. They're going to appreciate. Now, there's one thing in here that's except for this last one. There's one thing that's been in all of these: time. Time is kind of the factor. Holding space for other people is in kind of all of these, right? But it's the action that follows that time that you're kind of giving up. Okay. You know, when you feel like you're a priority in their life. Okay. Priorities are kind of different. Sometimes I tell people, I understand I'm not a priority. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm like, it doesn't, dude, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means I'm not high on the totem pole for you. I'm not a priority. Actions will show that. You're not offending me. It just means that I have different priorities than you. That's what I mean. That's it. Yeah. That kind of leads back to trust. You know, I trust. I trust that you're human. I don't need anything else. Physical touch. Right? This language prioritizes physical expressions of affection, such as hugging, kissing, holding hands, and other forms of physical contact. Right? I'm not a big physical contact guy. I mean, I do like hugs and things like that, but I don't always remember. I'm not. I would have to say that I'm probably the worst at this than anything. When it comes to my partner, anyway. When it comes to everybody else, I ask if a hug is okay for unless they're coming in for a hug, and then I will do it. But especially with women, if it's a man, I don't usually ask. But with women, I usually, hey, is it okay if I get a hug? And if they say no, then the answer is no. And I'm not trying to hug them because I want to hug. Well, maybe I do want to hug. Okay, but it's usually because they're crying. They're because something's going on and they need a little bit affection. I always call my wife babe. Anybody ever calls me babe, it is very quick. I'm like, no, that's reserved. That's reserved for my wife only. Why are you calling me that? Mm-mm. Do. All right. Physical touch is probably not going to be really something, but she likes to hold hands when we go places, things like that. A little bit of PDA. Right. PDA stands for public displays of affection. So, to some people, a PDA is a personal digital assistant. It's a different TLA. TLA stands for three-letter acronym. That would be a geek joke for you right there. Yeah. So what else does it have to say on that? Such as hugging, kissing, only other forms of people with this love language feel most when they receive physical touch that conveys security. So it's the security and affection. All right. Now, as with everything, there's balance. If we refer this back to the big book, in the big book it says that our relationships become a give and take basis. You may not agree with everything I'm about to say, and that's okay. You're not required to. You ever met a couple of people, and this happens a lot more than people know. Because usually in a relationship, you usually have somebody that's extroverted and the other person is probably introverted. We call this the opposites attract, okay? In that sense, anyway. Right? So maybe you have two people and all they're doing is giving. Both of them give because they have servants' hearts, and I just get, but they give to the point where they're wore out, where it starts to affect them mentally. All right. So if both sides are giving 100% of the time, sounds like a good thing, but it's a very bad thing because then no one is feeling appreciated. You got to take 50% of the time. Give 50, take 50. Leave a penny, take a penny. Okay. It will never be more than 100%. That is not possible. It's not possible. You cannot give more than 100%. You cannot take more than 100%. So that means that this is going to be divided, right? Now, some days Some days, maybe I'm going through something, so it's 70-30 for a few days. But it's not always that way. In the program, we call this not all of us are sick on the same day. The overuse of these. See, there are some dangers here. Because while I was reading that, I'm going to tell you what started going through my head. Codependency. Codependency, right? But if we understand somebody's love language, that doesn't mean that's how we always show them love on every single thing. Well, like people that like to receive gifts. Well, what if it's expensive gifts that they really like? Can't do that all the time. And you will find that people usually have more than one love language. I had two of them in there. Quality time and acts of service. Those are big to me. Those are big to me. Loyalty is huge to me. Respect is very, but those loyalty and respect are huge to me. All right. I think that's going to be on this one. I didn't have as much to say as I thought I did, but still 26 minutes is a lot. But it ain't no TED Talk. All right. Shave and a haircut. Bump, bump. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. And have a day. Oh, peace out. I didn't say peace out. Peace out and have a day. Bye-bye.